Shane, the link is in the bio. Okay, in the link tree. We've got the McIntyres in the house. I see Chad and Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I see Matt. I see Anthony G. KDL.
Oh, Coach Kristen's on.
Coach Kristen is on. We got Ali Zansberg in the house. Did I say it right?
Charlie is on.
We got
Charlie.
we got Joel, JP,
Steph, I see Steph.
Yeah.
Patrick B, Julian.
Jesse.
Look at that. G's all fancy, knows how to use the thumbs up thing.
He did?
Oh yeah.
That a
check
boy,
it out.
Charlie.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. He doesn't just do Excel spreadsheets,
Oh, and
guys.
he knows the heart?
Whoa.
Yeah.
G doesn't just know Excel spreadsheets, guys. Now, if you do need an Excel spreadsheet done with formulas and all of that, G is the man. He charges $1,050 an hour, but he'll get it done in like 200, 300, 400 hours. And
Stupid.
it was funny. I think I'm funny. I mean, probably nobody else does because everybody's just staring at us. They're not laughing.
They aren't at all.
At all. Julian
Tough
is.
crowd.
Julian is. Julian's like laughing out of like, I feel sorry for Chad right now and his terrible, terrible jokes. But look, G and Peter, they're spreadsheet nerds and Excel nerds, so they probably thought that was funny. G doesn't turn on his camera, but I know he's laughing right now.
That's why he's Charlie.
I see a few new faces. Hey. I can't say their names because Emily's walking around.
Yeah.
Steph Bartlett. He's new, right? No?
Oh, man, I love you. Thank you.
Is he new?
What?
Brand new. No.
Is Steph new?
Come on,
Or is-
bro. Come on, bro. We're done. We are done with Shane. Steph, bro.
I can't with Shane. He's out of this world.
When Megan walked in, he was like, when Megan walked
Fucking
in,
going, man.
he
This
was
is
like,
old age
he was
stuff.
like, oh, hey, what's your
I meant
name?
that,
It's
man.
nice
I
to.
meant that. Again, I didn't recognize you. This is unbelievable. I swear to God. He's a good-looking guy. He's right in the center. He's wearing orange. Looks like a fucking football player. You know what I'm saying?
Mental health at
Beautiful
its
man
finest.
right here. And again, we don't know this guy.
I just want to say he spoke
Holy
2 weeks
fuck.
ago,
I know,
and this is his
bro.
fiance on.
No.
Are you sweating?
I am.
Are you embarrassed right now?
Yes. This is,
No, I'm pretty sure you spoke last week.
Was it last? No, it was 2 weeks ago. Cause
Oh, yeah.
last
right.
week.
Sorry.
This is good times, man.
Steph, nice to meet you again, bro.
For the 9th time.
For the 9th time. Man, my mind.
And how sweet. Megan brought me flowers.
Right?
I just
Get
want to
my
be
flowers.
clear, guys. Xanax and weed, marijuana,
Do not mix. No bueno.
no good.
No good. No good. Not over like 40 years. It affects your short-term memory.
We got Emily cracking up over here, man. Guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. I'm fired up. I know Natalie's fired up. Natalie's about to be up for 24 hours. She's about to go do a knock shift, like halfway through this meeting. So, give it up for Natalie. What do you?
Thanks for the pep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, Megan, for the flowers. Very,
Yeah,
very sweet.
That's really nice.
Yes.
Really nice.
Shane.
Even though I didn't recognize her when she walked in the door. I don't know what's going on. Even the other day, my wife was honking and I didn't turn. Like I hear honks, but I don't bother looking, you know? And she's like calls me like, bro, I was like right next to you. Like, yeah, I'm focused.
On
Or-
what?
I don't know.
Or you just aren't paying, like, don't care.
This sounds like a bunch of excuses to me, but can you know what, Shane?
Yeah.
Since you forgot everybody's name and that you've ever met them,
Yeah.
can you talk about why we do this and all that good stuff? Because you probably remember that.
Of course,
It's been
that
a
I
long
remember.
time
Well, we
ago.
can't forget that. You know, that was the painful stuff I remember. I mean, if she kicked me in the head next time, right now, I'd remember her for sure. So, you know, we like to have fun here and joke around a lot, but this was brought through tragedy. Chad lost his son-in-law to fentanyl poisoning, 9/11 of 2022.
Yeah.
So it's what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years. And A lot of pain stemmed from that, obviously, with himself and his daughter was suffering for the 2 years, actually, a year and a half.
Yep.
And just a few months ago, she went to treatment.
Yep.
And she's on the up and up. I think she got 9 months now.
Yeah, she got to be coming up on 9 months.
Coming up on 9 months.
She took her 8-month chip.
Yeah.
3-4 weeks ago. So that's exciting for me.
Well, and it's
as a
proof
dad.
that even through that pain,
Yeah.
with the right people in place and family not giving up on you and friends not giving up on you, you can come out of this.
Well, it's just a testament of like people around you just continuing to like stay the course and do the deal.
Yeah.
Is attraction rather than promotion.
Right.
So like you have a father that is able to put his own kid into treatment, but yet we all know that each individual has to be willing themselves. Like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And so by doing that, and then obviously always being available and there, so if she wants to come to him, she sees all of the good that has come and all of just the what sobriety really does look like. It's not the end of the world. It's actually everything. So then all of a sudden it's attractive, and it's like, oh, let me see what this is all about. And then when she's ready, then he's like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, and then guys, if her and I started a podcast together. It's really good, 20 minutes. You guys should check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, Chaddict with 4 T's. I want to remind everybody why there's 4 T's on Chaddict. It's because every time I relapsed, I'd get locked out of my Instagram. I wouldn't be able to get in, so I just made a new one and added a T.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
True story.
Yeah. So we're ending at 4 because I turned the 4 T's into a logo, and we're doing this deal. So we want to thank you guys for showing up every Tuesday night and getting your own recovery. I'm ready to turn the meeting over to Megan.
Yeah, let's go.
You got 20 minutes. She'll tell your story. There'll be a little clock up there, and then it'll ding in your ears, but you can look up there every once in a while. Your camera's right over there.
Oh, okay, perfect.
You're all set.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for having me. I always consider it just such an honor to be able to share my story, and I in all honesty, I never quite know what route I'm going to take. I just always ask God to lead me, and trusting that whatever is shared will touch someone's life or resonate with someone in some way. So my name is Megan, and my sobriety date is July 28th, 2018. So I'll have 7 years in a few months here, and I give God all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise for rescuing me from the pit. I'm going to spend some time kind of going over, what happened, but I want to try to spend a little bit more time in just how the promises of God have come to fruition, and just all the blessings and even hardship and recovery. I want to get really real and just talk about that. It's not easy, once we get sober, as many of you know. A lot of times the work begins then. So let's see, I'll start with my upbringing was, pretty uneventful besides moving. I lived overseas. I grew up in Texas as well as overseas in Egypt. And I can't just gloss over that. People are like, what, totally. Egypt? Okay, just casual. So my dad was in the oil and gas industry, so I lived there for 4 years, pretty formative years of my life. Parents have been together. They have been together like 45 years now. So, all the love never needed for, anything, provided for. Just the thing was, we didn't talk about our feelings. It's very common, hear that a lot, especially in that generation. And, I don't fault my parents. I think that they, did a wonderful job given what they were, what was modeled to them was we just, we don't talk about our feelings, and we drink. And so, that was kind of modeled to me as a behavior of a self, pattern of self-soothing. And, I remember like being a pretty anxious child. I was always an athlete. And I remember this just one time on the soccer field. My heart was racing. I'm very competitive by nature. And I got so intense that my parents, I said I couldn't breathe. And my parents took me into the doctor, and the cardiologist was just like, her heart is fine. She is just a very intense individual. And I just was always kind of pinned as just like an anxious child, and always like kind of felt like I didn't belong. And so fast forward a bit, I didn't experiment with any alcohol or anything in high school. I was just really, really devoted to being an athlete. Went away to college, walked on to a D1 tennis team. And one theme I kind of want to highlight throughout this story is identity crisis, right? Because, you know, I was a middle child, and then I was an athlete, and that was really my focus. And I was always prized myself on being kind of like the peacemaker in my family. My sister had her own struggles. My brother had his struggles. So I always felt like I had to be the one that was okay. Like I had to be the one that was like, okay, well, at least she's good. We don't have to worry about her. I remember that being kind of a thought process that I had from a very young age. And so, college, I practiced with the tennis team. They were like insanely good and all foreign. So I just kind of hung out with them. I also had injuries. I had multiple knee surgeries. That's also a part of my story. But my freshman year, I remember having my first sip of alcohol, and you hear it all the time. It's like, oh man, like what have I been missing? Seems like this is the key. This is how everyone is, managing and coping. I can just drink. I feel better. I feel relaxed. I can just be myself. And, it was fun for a while. I drank, sort of, I would say, normally on the weekends. I was also introduced to Adderall my freshman year of college and loved that. Felt, more productive, felt like it gave me appetite control, all sorts of stuff. And so I was on this path of just kind of, skating by, doing well in school, but partying on the weekends. When it started to really, really catch up to me, I remember I turned 20 and I had my first panic attack. Super gnarly. I mean, I couldn't breathe, heart was racing, and ended up going into a psychiatrist. And she was like, oh, wow, like, I'm surprised you're just now presenting with, these symptoms. I told her I was feeling depressed. I was put on antidepressants. And from then on, like, I just felt like, now you have Adderall, now you have antidepressants, now you have alcohol. And it's just this whole, self-reliance trying to manage my life. And as long as I can just, do well in school and, just, I was on a path of destruction. And one thing about this stage of my life, I grew up as a cultural Christian, I would say. We went to church. My family claimed the faith, but our hearts were far from him, like it talks about in Matthew. And since I'm talking about scripture, I have the Bible right here because this is how I have renewed my mind, and I'll get to that. But this is extremely important in my daily life and my recovery. And so where was I? So I'm going to fast forward a bit. It's not really important, some of the details I'm going to gloss over, but we get to, let's see, how am I in time?
Yep.
Pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. Okay, perfect. Let's see what path do I want to take. So things started to get really bad, I would say around the age of 23, 24. I was living in Arizona at the time and went out drinking one night and hurt my knee and couldn't walk. And that was just, things were already pretty bad at that point. I was in a part of a business venture and, it was just wasn't good how I was living, hanging out with people that were partying just like I was. And I remember I hurt my knee. And at this point, my parents were living 9,000 miles away in Saudi Arabia. And so, I call them and tell them, what happened to my knee. And it just kind of brings everything to the surface, like how much I'm struggling because I'm trying to keep that everything's okay. Like I got this, I'm managing my life. Was not managing my life. And so my mom flew out and we, I remember her saying to me, she said, okay, we're going to go back to Texas. We still have our house there and we're going to get you fixed from head to toe. And when I heard that, it's like, no, we're not going to, pray through this. No, we're not going to like seek the Lord. It's like, we're going to fix you from head to toe, meaning like through like human aid. And that did not work. It made me more frustrated. I had my first trip to rehab at age of 25 at Sierra Tucson. Beautiful facility. But, I was in denial. I didn't believe I had a problem. I blamed everything outside of, my own actions. I said, if only you understood I was betrayed, if only you understood, like I wouldn't drink if this, this or that didn't happen to me. And I left there after 30 days feeling great, was pampered, got massages. But I did not understand or comprehend the severity of my condition, right? And so things would get worse. As we know, it's chronic, it's progressive, and unfortunately, it gets a lot worse before it gets better. And so I was just getting started with my journey with drinking. Drinking was really what brought me to my knees. I talked about Adderall a little bit. There was some Xanax mixed in there, but it was alcohol. It was alcohol for me. It brought me to my knees. And all four of my grandparents drank to excess. And so I talk a lot about generational curses and who God kind of appoints to break those generational curses. And I take that like really seriously. And so fast forward a bit, I went to Sierra Tucson, then I went to sober living in LA. Again, super nice, but I was not serious. And I was not confronted with the reality that if I did not seek the Lord, I was going to be cutting my life short. It was completely reckless. I ended up moving back to Houston. And at this point, I really didn't want to be in Houston. I had a lot of, moving from Egypt back to Houston growing up was really very traumatizing. And so I did not want to be there. So I kind of had this negative attitude towards it to begin with. Of course, it has nothing to do with the area. And so I moved back there, and that's when stuff really went south. My mom was there with me for a little while, so I had a lot of guilt about that, separating my parents. She was trying to help me. She ended up going back to Saudi Arabia, and this is just when I really went off the deep end. I was in really toxic, abusive relationships, and I ended up selling all my furniture. I was drinking daily at this point. And yeah, I sold all my furniture. I was living in an empty apartment. So it was almost like this, my external, reality matched my inside, which was empty and really sad. And I got in a car accident, pretty bad car accident in 2015. Should have had a DUI, but apparently the Lord didn't think that needed to be part of my story. I had been drinking early, afternoon. I worked out all throughout my sobriety. It was just crazy. I felt like a complete hypocrite because I was also a personal trainer, but I was driving on a feeder road going like 50 miles per hour, crashed into a car that crashed into a car that crashed into a car that crashed into a car. Really no consequences for that. I don't know why, I don't know how, but the cop came up to me and just asked if I was okay. I totaled my Lexus and that was that. I got away with that. And so you would think that was, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt also. I should have been thrown from the vehicle based on how fast I was going. I had black eyes and, the airbag deployed in my face. Really bad. That definitely scared me. And that's when I started the conversation with my parents that I was serious. I really wanted to get some help. So this was my parents were repatriating back to the States. And so I went to a treatment center in North Carolina. Beautiful facility, was very well educated on, the pathophysiology of addiction. And, but that didn't help me. That didn't help me stay sober. I would go on to, stay there for 3 months, relapse. And mind you, I had already relapsed like twice before this. Relapsed after 42 days there, 3 months there. And that is when I was brought in like back to the center in North Carolina. And they're just like, we don't know how to help you. You already went through our program. And I was just not willing to accept that my life was unmanageable. I hadn't worked the steps. I wasn't serious about the steps at all. I thought they were just kind of arbitrary. Didn't really see the reason behind them. And I felt so far from God at this point. I felt just disgusted with myself and what the mess I had made of my life. And I didn't have people speaking life or truth over me. I didn't have people that were living a life that I wasn't around the kind of people that I am now that are Christ-like and, just chasing after the Lord. And so, I was referred out to a treatment center here in California. Safe Harbor in 2016. So I came out to Safe Harbor, stayed there for 3 months, managed to get and did some pretty intense work. I really got serious at that point. I was serious, but I was still I still had another relapse in me, unfortunately. So I got 1 year after my time at Safe Harbor, and this is when, oh man, it's my last relapse was 2 weeks in 2018. I drank for about 2 weeks, and it ended with me throwing up bile on my hands and knees. And I just, share that detail, just kind of paint the picture of how bad it was. And this is the first time that I actually drove myself to treatment. I drove myself back to Safe Harbor, checked into their detox. And again, they're like, you've already been through our program. We don't really know how to help you, right? And so I remember my parents kind of giving me an ultimatum. They're like, this is it. Like, we are kind of like done with, the emotional roller coaster that we've been on. And understandably so. I was so baffled. Like, they talk about it being cunning, baffling, powerful, like that. Here I was again, after admitting that I had a problem, yet I was powerless. I was completely powerless. I had not surrendered my life over to the Lord. And I glossed over one really important detail. In 2015, right before the car accident, I remember getting on my hands and knees and just crying out to the Lord. And I just wrote to him, like, I know you're there. I feel so unworthy. Like, will you please help me? Like, I will follow you the rest of my days. Like, will you just please rescue me from this hell? I was in hell. I was self-harming. Didn't want to live. I was just drinking myself into oblivion. And, in hindsight now, like, of course, for some, he just delivers you right away. But I do believe that he needed me to co-labor with him, which is often the case. And so anyways, this last time I drove myself to treatment, and this time it wasn't beautiful. Like, I cost my parents over $200,000 out of pocket for treatment. I had zero insurance. Like, I felt terrible. You know what I mean? I felt terrible. And so, this last place I went to, you're not going to believe when I mention if you're local. I went to Yellowstone. And this is what was recommended to me from the girl at Safe Harbor. She goes, listen, like, you've had it pretty cush. Like, I think you need to go and see, like, kind of where you're headed. Because this is where I got sober. And I was, of course, like, terrified. I didn't know. Like, I didn't think I was better. At this point, I did not think I was better than anyone. Like, I knew that I had a problem with alcohol. I didn't think that I was above anything. But Yellowstone. And so I arrived there, and, women that had been incarcerated. I was around women that had nothing. I was around women that had zero family members talking to them. I was around women that had, like I said, nothing to their name. And that apparently is what I needed to see. I needed to be confronted with the reality that if I did not surrender my life over to God, that I was going to die. It was just a matter of time. I was drinking and driving, getting away with it, all these kind of things. And so when I got there, I got really serious. I got a sponsor, and I got really serious about the 12 steps. She wasn't super nice, but that's what I needed at the time. She was a straight shooter. And I worked the steps, and it was really, really powerful what happened. Making amends was hard, taking full responsibility for the wreckage I had caused. But yeah, it took me quite a while to get there. And, the thing that's been most powerful and transformative in my recovery journey is I prayed for a long time for the Lord to give me Christ-centered community. I always felt like I was a person that had a lot of acquaintances, but like as far as my like inner circle, like my people, I didn't find them until 2020. The Lord just floodgates of Christian women, and ever since then, I have just stayed in the center. Probably the first time I felt like actual like encounter and like just pure love of Jesus was when I was on a women's retreat in 2020, and they laid hands on me and just prayed over me and spoke life over me. And I had never experienced anything like that before. And like I said, I've just been in community since then. I read the Bible every day because this is my daily bread. This is how I renew my mind. The Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's the problem with alcohol and drugs is it centers in the mind, right? It's an obsession, and the only power of God can relieve that obsession. It is nothing that we're doing. Of course we co-labor, but ultimately it is the Lord that removes the desire. I didn't think I would ever go a day without feeling like I needed alcohol. I mean, it really was scary. I remember having this idea this thought process, I don't remember the last day that I didn't have a drink. That is no longer a thing. And, I was at a wedding last year, and it was so interesting, just the perception that people have. And how much time do I have?
4 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. It's interesting the perception that people have of people that, have been delivered from addiction. One of our family friends said, at a wedding, she was like, gosh, this must be so hard for you. I mean, just the temptation everywhere. And she's just hammered. And I said, I just had the Holy Spirit. I was like, let me just set you straight here. I said, I do not know of this temptation that you speak of. I walk in freedom. I am shielded. She's probably she's drunk. She's like, what's happening? What's she talking about? She's speaking in tongues. But I was just I've been delivered. I walk in freedom. I don't. And that's the power of God, right? Only he can shield us from that temptation that used to have us in chains and in bondage. And when I try to manage my life, I'm drunk in my closet with a bottle of vodka. It's not good. That was one of my darkest times. I was sitting in my closet with my dog drinking vodka. That is a sad snapshot. And so, yeah, I mean, just trying to think of anything else I want to share. Christ-centered community has been absolutely, the most important part. Being of service, being willing to come and do whatever it takes to share, experience, strength, and hope. Even on social media, I started being a little bit more vocal about my story and just letting go of pride and ego. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in a family that's everything's about optics. You got to look good. You got to kind of sound good, appear a certain way. Well, I don't really care about that anymore. I mean, of course, deep down, it's I have to fight that because it's not about me. You know what I mean? It's really gross for me to think worry about how I sound when there's people dying in silence. And that's why I love the whole Recover Out Loud movement. That wasn't a thing. And the reality is when I first moved out here and I was in treatment before I really was walking with the Lord, always a Christian, but following the Lord is different than believing. I always believed. And what people were saying to me was, so what do you think other 30, 31-year-olds are doing right now? They were not speaking life over me, and I kept relapsing over and over again. You know what I mean? So put yourself around people that are going to speak life over you, that are further along in their spiritual journey than you are, and find a mentor. I'm sure many of you attend regular meetings. Find someone that has the life that you want and is really walking with the Lord. That is absolutely the best advice I could give. Put him first, and everything else will be added to that. I'm sure there's so much more. I'm going to be like, oh, I should have shared that. But yeah, so.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Wow, it is true. The theme of recovery from self, whether you're diagnosed with a terminal illness or whether you're diagnosed, this is as well a terminal illness, disease or whatever, you need God to get out of that hole. I mean, that's just how life is with every aspect of it.
That's all you need.
Well, it's not all you need.
No, it is. Literally. It'll fill your cup more than it's hard to even articulate.
I'm not exactly right there
I am.
yet where it's all you need because I feel like I need other things. I'm not sure what off the top of my head, but
Peptides. You need peptides.
I need peptides.
My name is Megan.
Megan, by the way.
But I love it. I love the fact that you're the power of the tongue is life and death.
Yeah.
So what are you going to feed?
So I want to kind of go on about what the two ladies just said, because Natalie said it's all you need, right? God is all you need, but it's also time to go to work.
Yeah. Action.
I'm looking at Megan's Bible journal study Bible right here, and she doesn't just believe. She went to work on this Bible right here, this journal, and I mean, I like to go back to the beginning of Alcoholics Anonymous because they got it right. They got something right, really right. They've done all these crazy studies on us addicts and alcoholics and the disease model in our brains and all of this. But the truth of the matter is the steps come from the Bible. I want to be clear about that. But they got it right when they said we have a spiritual malady, right? And, whether we get a daily reprieve, we only have 24 hours in a day. I could wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I'm not doing this God thing anymore. Right. And it's only a matter of time for me before I stick a needle back in my arm or I take a drink or, my life just starts, it'll spiral without the substances.
For sure.
Because I have issues without the substances.
Right.
But you know what? When I get filled up with God, and that's why I made a decision, because I have relapsed, and I have a story similar to yours, and I know every single one of those treatment centers you went to, except for the one in North Carolina.
Pavilion?
In North Carolina?
Yeah,
yes, I do.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. They're all so beautiful and so comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah, and I love that I got clean at this place called Nancy Clark this last time, and I've been to every bougie treatment center on the planet. Because as a treatment center owner, they were just scholarshiping me everywhere. Oh, nice. And it was not nice. It was nice of them to do that. Yes. And it was, but I ended up, the judge was like, no, you're not going to another bougie treatment center. And I know Honey from that owns Yellowstone. No joke. It's no joke. It's Nancy Clark is like, I know Nancy. Honey. She's no joke. No. She was like, Chad, she doesn't cuss like I do, and I'll try not to cuss right now. But she said, Chad, I don't care who you are. Yeah. You're going to do this because what you've been doing has gotten you here. Mm-hmm. It's real. And like, I'm nobody. I'm everybody. That's, one of the other things that I like about God and working a program. There is a spirit of anonymity, right? Yeah. And the spirit of anonymity really is just that we're all equal. Yeah. I love the Recover Out Loud movement too. Like I found it 2 years ago when we started this podcast. Yeah. On accident. Mm-hmm. And I adopted it into our podcast and into our lives. Because I always recovered out loud. I was like, I'm an addict because I found recovery. Yeah. Now, I don't really like, I'm not like I'm an addict. I'm like, I just want to help people. Yeah. And I want to show people that they can have a life that I never knew existed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ephesians 3:20.
Exactly. I was just going to, boom.
Ephesians 3:20, God can do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond anything you could ask, hope, or imagine. That is just kind of a banner verse for recovery. Just what
I posted that yesterday for my birthday.
One of my favorites.
Me
too. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that this life existed. Right. And a few weeks back, we had a girl on the podcast that said, build a life. How I posted it yesterday. I forgot.
Build a life that you don't want to escape from.
Right.
Build a life that you don't want to escape from.
Beautiful.
I wanted to escape every
day.
Every day.
And you know what? That life starts with God. I just want to be clear with people. Like that life that we don't want to escape from starts with God.
Amen.
Anyways, let's open it up. We got a lot of hands up, a lot of good comments going on.
Went to Wilmington Treatment Center. Nice.
But all those bougie treatments doesn't matter. What it matters is the person willing.
I'm grateful. There were seeds planted.
Of course.
Like, it wasn't.
Of course. And it's one of those things where it doesn't matter where. You can get sober anywhere. Exactly. It's just like the individual has to be willing to surrender and actually do the actionable steps required to maintain.
You can't just have faith.
No.
Faith without works is dead.
For sure.
You got to co-labor with the Lord.
For sure.
He's a moment. Like when you move, he moves. He's motion sensitive.
Yeah.
And there's Donna. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. Love you, Donna.
I just want to be clear that she doesn't call me Honey Bunny Boo Boo Bear. I got it mixed up with the dog. She calls the dog Boo Boo Bear.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
I am. You like that, don't you, Ian? That's funny. She does call me Honey Bunny Boo Boo Bear. She just told me not to.
You continue to make it worse.
I think it's cute. Anyway.
And now she's left the meeting.
No, she's not.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
She look at what she put in the comment. She just smacked her head.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, jeez.
I literally call Cashmere that, our Pomeranian.
Yeah.
I thought she was talking to me this whole time. Damn.
Nope.
My feelings are hurt. Coach Kristen, what's popping?
What's poppin', guys? Good to see y'all. I'm on y'all's time zone.
I
Oh,
know,
nice.
crazy.
I know. Y'all gotta come visit. It'd be great to see you guys. Yeah, Megan, I just want to say thanks, dude. Like, your life was like how my life was and what I strive to be. Because like you were talking about Christ-centered community and all that stuff and breaking the generational curses, like that's me 110%, right? Like I'm sitting in a treatment facility right now, like fourth time and hoping final time, because I'm like, it's time to surrender, you know? And like your story was like resonated with me a lot. Like I was an athlete, I still am, I play rugby, like identity crisis 1,000%, yes. Like, and then I like what you said about like self-reliance, like trying to manage my own life. Yeah, no, like it doesn't work. I smile because I'm like learning not to hide behind my feelings with a smile, but like it was just super encouraging because I just moved to a very, very small town in New Mexico through the military, and like there's nothing there. Fucking nothing. And so like trying to find a community, like recovery and Jesus and all that stuff, like trying a lot, but now I'm just taking it one step at a time, you know, and like one day at a time. And so I'm super thankful that this facility let me get on here tonight, because it was like everything I needed to hear. So
Oh, praise God. I'd love to connect with you if we could somehow connect via Instagram or the Hopeaholics. I'd love to connect with you.
Kristen, you don't have your phone, right? The number that I have, because I had a voicemail, it's the facility, yeah?
yeah, that's the facilities. Okay. I'm on my cell phone right now. So am I at White Sands? Yeah, I'm at Holloman Air Force Base. Somebody just said that. Yeah, that's the facilities phone.
Okay.
We can get our phone twice a day to
Okay.
call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to pray with you and connect.
That would be fantabulous. I would appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah. God's got you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to you soon.
We'll get you connected. Love you, Coach Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep popping.
Jerry.
Suspicious.
Jerry.
Jerry, are you real?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Phew.
Megan, thank you for sure. It related a lot to it also. You know, I've been in 5 treatment centers. You know, I currently still live in a sober living, pay out of pocket. You know, and I'm hearing it also. I've done it multiple times. I've done it for people, for family, friends, but never for me. And it's like, you know, today I had a tough day, you know, because I recently fractured my ankle, and it's like I fractured it like 2 weeks ago, and it's like going to the hospital, telling the hospitals, you know, oh, I cannot take narcos, you know, why? Because I'm an addict, you know, and it's, oh, you could take one, just take one, like, you know, and it's certain behaviors started to pop coming back, you know, and normally what I don't do, I never done it before. I called my sponsor, you know, I called my sponsor, and I told my sponsor, hey, I'm at the hospital. What should I do? You know, like they're offering me narcos. No, tell them to give you ibuprofen. You know, And he told me, and he made me realize that, even though, Jerry, just remember, whatever, if you take one in, you're not gonna stop. You have a physical allergy. I'm about to start my fourth step with my sponsor. And it's amazing because I've been working with him almost a year. I'm coming up for a year on April 1st, and it's like so amazing that I have family back in my life, friends back in my life, my best friends finally back in my life, and it's like, but this time I actually went to a different treatment center and actually focus on me, what I want to do for me, and it's by taking directions by God, doing what God wants me to do. Don't focus about anything else, just worry about myself. And it has helped me so much. I'm hearing you guys talk about treatment centers. I work in a treatment center overnight, and I have clients come to me and ask me, "Hey, do you know any good meetings?" Like, yeah, but it's up to you guys what you
Mm-hmm.
guys want to do. I can't force you to do what you want. You got to figure out what you want to do and be aware of your red flags. And so it has helped me out a lot by staying in the sober living. I'm coming up for a whole year being in a sober living still, and and I go to fellowship, I go to meetings, I have commitments, and I just had to come to a Zoom meeting today. So that's why I wanted to get out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I love that.
Thank you,
I mean,
Jerry.
I always say, if you need to stay in sober living
I did.
I did
for
a long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
do it. Like, you're smart, bro.
I
Like,
did a
stay
whole
tight.
year. Yeah.
Like,
I
there's
moved
no
out on my 1 year anniversary.
yeah, it's smart. I think that's the way to go, because sometimes we get out of treatment out of 30 days, 60, 90. Like,
Need the
you're just
structure.
starting.
Structure, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I left my sober living and I got married. So you know what I mean? It was like I was in purgatory the whole time. It's like I've been in purgatory for 18 years. Anyways.
Marriage is not that bad.
It's
guys.
not that bad. 18 years of marriage is not that bad.
We're saying this because
Our wives are on here.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My wife boned out.
Oh, did she?
I embarrassed her. I'm only saying that because we got two people that are getting married really, pretty soon here. She got a ring on her finger. We got Steph and Megan. Marriage is good.
Marriage is great.
There's good old Matt, man. 430
Yes,
22.
Matt.
What's going on?
I love you, Matt.
Hey, brother.
I appreciate you, Matt.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Mac, grateful recovering addict. First and foremost, big shout out to the homie Natalie on 12 years, yo.
Thank you, dog.
That's huge.
Thank you for the text.
No doubt. That's huge.
Yeah.
Super proud of you.
Thank you.
And man, that share was definitely good. Definitely good. One thing I find nice is I no longer have to be reminded how awesome God is. And it's crazy because I used to be so skeptical, man. And let a lot of outside influences make me that way. And today is no question. No question, because without God, I'm not walking this earth. Period. Point blank. I mean, I've been coded out 3 times and brought back alive. I'm on life number 4. And none of them have been from an overdose. None of them technically self-inflicted. So the fact that I'm still here, there's no doubt that God's real. And playing a big part of my life and playing a big part in everybody's life on here.
Yeah.
Definitely. And anytime I even start to stray just a little bit, I know it immediately. I can feel it inside. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't want to say I feel empty inside, because I love myself today, and that's another huge thing, loving yourself. But anytime I even start to like stray a little bit, if I don't remember to pray in the morning on the way to work or whatever it may be, like I know it. Like it has a huge effect on my day. And I'm just just so grateful, man. Just so grateful today for God, for recovery.
Mm-hmm.
This shit works, man. This shit works.
Yes.
It really does.
Uh-huh.
You know, I only had to do treatment once and thankful for that, but I spent 28 years active. So if I had done treatment 1, 10, 15 times before that, I would have failed miserably every time. So, you know, just anybody, man, just please keep going, man. Don't ever give up on yourself. This shit works. I promise it does. And this world is a better place with you in it, man. Love you guys, man.
Love you, Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Matt, I used actually one of the songs that you put in our Recover Out Loud little chat. On, you know how IG you can do little songs? Like you can play on your, I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called. But
Like the little bubble.
yeah, a little bubble just for my birthday yesterday. But that's because like this group is everything to us. Like Recover Out Loud, you guys showing up every single week. Our chats are off the chain. And I think that's incredible. And it's another testament of us kind of riding together.
Yeah, if anybody's a regular on this chat here, I mean,
Or not, join us. Like if you're not, open it.
Yeah, if you're a regular on this Zoom meeting, you come every week. We have a chat group on Instagram.
It's really good.
Type in your Instagram handle in the chat. Emily will screenshot it for us, and we'll add you to the chat.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Chad and Amy. The flowers yesterday were amazing. And this entire group, I just really quickly want to say thank you because you guys are all reaching out to me through like whether it's DMs or texts or comments and stuff like that. I definitely don't want to not notice you guys because it's very, very cool. So thank you very much for showering me with a massive amount of love yesterday.
And what do we got going on here with old Jesse there, huh? Are we should we play the song All the Single Ladies? All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
No, this one's for this
Say
one's
it.
for Shane.
I knew he was going to say my name.
Like, come on,
I knew
bro.
it. There we go.
Give us a little flexy flex right
Yeah,
there.
there we go. We love it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a great upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good for you, bro. Good for
We
you.
won't go.
You crack me up all the fucking
Thank
time,
you, man.
Shane.
I'm doing my best.
Oh man, yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Jesse, and I am a addict that identifies as an alcoholic. Man, thank you, Megan, for the share. That's amazing. I feel like, oh, and Natalie, of course, 12 years. Holy shit.
I know, right? It makes me feel old.
Like, no, that means you've been putting in the work and doing the shit. Like,
Amen,
hell
brother.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like God's trying to talk to me. I have been praying and I've been like on the fucking grind lately. I like that you brought up generational curses because I'm breaking a fucking lot of them, and
it's really real.
it's hard work. It's so hard. I got a 3-year-old son that he loves to push my buttons, and he wants to push me to the edge. But you know, that's just a test, and yeah, I've been praying a lot, but I heard in one of the podcasts, and I've been hearing it a lot lately, is like learning to listen to God instead of just always talking, because I'm pretty bad about that. I talk a lot. I'm always running my mouth, or my mind's going a million miles an hour. So I'm trying to listen, and the past couple podcasts that I've listened to of your guys's, all I hear is God, you know, and I can't figure out what exactly he's trying to tell me right now, but it's exciting and to hear it so much, because yeah, breaking generational curses is a lot of work, But the work is where it's at. I mean, without this program, without you guys, without the meetings, God, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. And community is like, I've been hearing that a lot lately. So I wanted to talk about like how important community is, because, and when I first got sober, if it wasn't for the community that found me, really, I probably would have relapsed a lot more than I did. I mean, having people there to support you, and like right now, I'm in a weird space where it's like I feel like you guys are my community. You know, it's funny because I listen to all the podcasts and I'm always here when I can, and um, I feel I feel like I know you guys so well. It's so funny because I listen to you guys all the time, and like it's like I know all of you so well, but it's kind of like, oh, you don't really know me that well. It's so funny the way podcasts work. Anyways, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. Mine's going crazy.
Jesse, you better be in our chat then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
because
I'll join.
that's how we'll know you.
No, that's how we get to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse, it's so funny that you said the thing about God popping up on our podcast a lot. Natalie just said that to me the other day. She's like, isn't it weird how since I've really been diving into the Word, that all of our podcasts have come back to like Jesus and how like crazy,
But like
it's
in a
been.
cool way.
Yeah.
Like, not like preachy or weird.
Yeah,
It's like
in a
very in a
natural
natural,
way, right?
organic way. And I
Yeah.
just like, to me, I was saying like, is it me? Or so I brought it up to chat and I was like,
It just solidified.
it just solidifies of like, and I obviously like take it for me staying the course of like seeking the Word, because I'm like in the Bible every single morning now, more so than I ever have. And it's just another like testament of the Holy Spirit like living within us. I bring it everywhere I go, so it's just like spilling into as many people to spread the good news, because it's incredible once you actually can find Him, and He will fill you up. Like everything that I used to search for in a drug and a drink
Yeah.
is incredible.
I've definitely been feeling it. I mean, like, I love how, like you said, it has been so natural.
Yeah.
Like you're not bringing it up. You're not shoving it down
Right.
anyone's throat. It just comes up. It's really cool.
It is really cool. I love
Yeah,
that
it's
you
like
noticed it
literally
too.
been our like
Yeah,
guests.
it's our
you
guest.
know?
Yeah, every guest, and that's what's like really cool. Like, you
Yeah.
know, another attraction, not
Yeah.
promotion, because that's what like.
And it's been like
This is
weird
the
guests
bomb.
too, from everything
for
from just like a
totally.
regular person to like we
Yeah.
had that. Because I think there's a few podcasts that aren't even out yet. Like the Darren Prince.
Oh yeah,
from,
totally.
from Prince Marketing Group. Like he's like
Yep.
he's like Magic Johnson. I mean Magic Johnson's agent and hundreds of other people's,
Yeah.
and it was just like crazy, like
Yeah.
you know, the different realms of people that have been bringing this up and how it's been you know, filling the cup.
Yeah.
And I will tell you guys, man, Natalie has been, and when she her treatment center opened, like right before, she just really started diving into the Word even more and more and more, and I noticed it, and her life just kept getting more and more full and busy in a way that like you can only have the energy to do the amount of work that she's doing right now and helping people when your cup is completely filled with God.
Thanks, dude.
So,
It's like an
Thank you.
overflow. Overflow.
yep. So, congratulations.
Ollie Zanzibar.
Thank
This
you.
guy Christian right here. Have you been watching him?
Nice.
Which
This guy
one?
Christian right here in the middle. He's look at his eyes. He's like a deer in the headlights right now. He's been eating the whole time. He had my favorite blueberry.
Yeah, dude. He's
He had-
on
he had-
like his third one of
He's
those.
on his third or
What?
fourth one. He had my.
Wait, is that an Otter Pop?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
he
are Otter
started
Pops,
with the
bro.
blueberry flavor. I was looking at the blueberry flavor. Then he went and he grabbed.
I know it's
something
funny. I
else.
was like, where is
Now
he
he's
that
doing an
he's-
orange thing here. Oh, he's got the orange.
I
popsicle
was
going.
actually thinking, where is he that he's eating something that cold
Cold?
right now?
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, he's had like 6 of them.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, good for him. Anyways,
Anyways,
Ollie.
Ali or Ollie?
Ollie.
No, it's Ali.
Ollie,
It's-
whatever.
Ali.
It's Allie.
Allie. I knew it.
It's been forever, guys.
Wow.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how are
Thank so
you?
much. I'm great, actually. Except for being sick right now, but that's okay. So, Megan, I could relate to so many parts of your story. I've been doing this for 15 years, and like, I just always had a reason why I was different and didn't need to do all of the steps or all of the things, or like, I have the career, I have the car, I have the condo, whatever it was. I was just like, I don't know, it just never was enough. And it's funny, this time, like the last time I was here, it's been quite some time. I was living with my ex and his kids. I've played mom to them for 5 years. I'm living in a sober living again, which like I felt like was such a step back in my life because I have no fronts, but I have a year on April 8th. So I don't know like what how many days today, which is incredible. But it was really abusive and he picked up meth and like I just felt like we can make this work and everything will be okay. And you cannot save anybody who does not want help. I have an alcoholic father. I did it my whole childhood, like, and swore that I would never be like one myself. But that wasn't my journey. And like it always took an OD. It always took something really insane happening for me to go to treatment or to go to a sober living. And it was like I'm just like not willing to live like this anymore. Like I want to be happy. And like I had to leave the kids and the dogs. And that was really, really hard for me because like that was my family. And um I live with 20 girls. I'm 31, so it's kind of insane. I've worked in treatment many times over the years. But like my life has come together. I've only been here like 3 months and I had a lot of mandatory meetings. That's why I haven't been to this meeting in quite some time. I did go through all the phases, as I'm sure a lot of people understand. um, but like, I just got my California cosmetology license out here. I was $2,000 behind on rent. Like, I thought I was going to be sober and homeless, and I'm a month ahead of all my bills. And I don't say that like to boost my ego in any way, but like, my life in the last 3 months has completely changed. And like, I was so scared to take this leap of faith because I was like, I have all these months and like, going to a sober living, that's like when you get out of treatment and this and that. And like, not, it was an ego thing. It was still an ego thing because like, I don't know. I just was like, I finally have the house and the family. And it was just, it was terrible though. It was really bad. And the last thing that happened before I moved out was like, my ex put his hands on me and he had never done that. Like he had said some really fucked up shit, but never touched me. And our 9-year-old was home and she's like, what's wrong with that? And all I could say like is he's sick. Like you can't tell a 9-year-old he's messed out. And I don't know, it's just like I don't have contact with them because he says I joined a cult even though I was doing AA before I moved to the sober living. And he won't let me talk to them. And it hurts. It's really hard, but like I have beautiful women in my life today that love me and I've known for 3 months and would do anything for me. And like I did not have that living in the house I had. And I'm just really grateful to be back. And thank you so much for your share. And also, one last thing, God carried me all through those years because, like, I have no reason to be here. I've watched all of my friends die, and I OD'd 9 times in 6 months. Like, it was insanity. Like, when fentanyl hit the streets, like, I just couldn't stop ODing and I couldn't get sober. Like, I couldn't. And, like, I really, like, hated God for many years. And, like, when I look back on my life, I'm like, God carried me through so many, like, trials and like I was so ungrateful and today I look back and I'm like I'm just so blessed, like I'm so blessed I'm still here. Thank you guys for doing this. It's an incredible meeting and congratulations on 12 years, Natalie. That is
thank
such
you.
an accomplishment.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. And
Thank
congratulations
you,
to
Allie.
you as well.
Yes, almost 1 year.
Keep coming
Yeah.
back. We're excited
Yes.
that you're here. You're here again.
Awesome.
Who?
Skylar.
iPhone 4, Skylar.
Oh gosh. Hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Skylar. I'm an alcoholic addict and I'm grateful to be here. Natalie, congratulations and thank you so much, Megan, for your story and everyone else that has shared. I'm just super grateful to be here. Yeah, I think I can relate a lot to your story, Megan, in regards to breaking generational curses and getting back into a Christ-centered community. I lost my relationship with Christ in my addiction. I found Christ at a church camp when I was young in family's tumultuous chaos and lost that in my addiction. And in my sobriety, I've redeveloped that relationship with him and been recently baptized, and I'm excited about it.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing.
So I'm super grateful and getting submersed in a Christ-centered community. But yeah, it's just humbling, and I'm so grateful to be here and join your community. I've listened to your podcast for about a year and a half to 2 years
Amazing.
since the start of my sobriety. So I'm just really grateful to be here. And I remember when I first got sober, I found your podcast somehow randomly. I wouldn't say randomly. It was divine. It was from God that I found your podcast, because I was processing so many different emotions, from shame to guilt to all these heavy emotions that honestly made me suicidal, unfortunately. And I didn't know how to handle all of those emotions, being a dry, sober person and not working the program. And I went to Reno Behavioral Health for mental health concerns. I admitted myself, and someone handed me an AA book, and that was when I found my relationship with God again. Prayer is what took me out of my depression. Prayer is what took me out of that darkness. And that was when I joined the AA community in my town. And now I have community. I have a relationship with God. And I'm so grateful that I have your podcast to lean in on for hope and understanding. And I'm just super grateful to be here right now. You know, I'm here because of my higher power and because of God, and I'm here because of my Savior Jesus Christ to help like me lift through that shame and guilt. And I'm working the program super heavily. I'm on making my amends.
Ooh, nice.
And that's been just super fun, and it's been really fruitful and really challenging. I have a twin sister, an identical twin sister,
Oh,
and
wow.
she told me the other day that she enjoyed hanging around me. And that was like the first time I feel like I've heard that in a long time. And that's just me being me and me being sober. And I'm just grateful to make better relationships with friends, family, and those around me.
Oh, I
And
love
so,
that.
thank
You're on
you,
fire.
guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it. Chad and Amy.
That's Chad right there, though.
Hey guys.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, happy 12.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Not
Did you
you,
just say
Shane.
thanks?
I just figured
Yeah.
I'd say thanks.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Chad. He likes the one that takes my thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thunder.
you're killing it. It's an inspiration.
Thank you.
So today I had jury duty,
Oh.
and I got to go in the same court that the last time I went into that court in Santa Ana, I was up for days, drove straight through the night just to make it barely in time to my courtroom. And my lawyer looks at me and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I looked like a mess. So then this morning I go in there and I go through the check-in, and it was just me going through the check-in, and I put my like keys and stuff in the tray, and then the cop who he picks up my keys and he sees my chip and he goes, a chip. He's like, this is like a recovery chip. And I go, yep. I go 15 years, and he goes, drugs or alcohol? And I go, drugs. And he goes, you're a miracle.
Mm.
And that was like my first time setting foot into that courtroom, and it kind of like set my tone for the day. I'm like, it gave me the contrast, because I was feeling it when I was walking in. I was remembering, because I spent a lot of time in courtrooms, in that courtroom and in other courtrooms. I did drug court, and it was all just, that's the old me. And so much time has passed. It just felt good to be in there, like on different terms. And I'm such a recipient of the promises, and my life is so much different now. It's just insane. It's like I'm unidentifiable from my life before. And the bedrock, or the keystone of everything, is my recovery. And when I was walking away from that cop, I'm thinking, yeah, like, I'm not just sober, but it's, sober. That doesn't say enough to say I'm sober, because sobriety is the bedrock. Everything I have is held together with the glue of sobriety. Like, there'd be nothing without me, with me picking up drinking or using or not being honest. Really, honesty is a part of sobriety for me, just like not using is. So it just felt good today to go into that place that had so many bad memories, just on different terms.
Amen
So
to that. Awesome.
That's it.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Serenity.
Hey family, how are you?
Good. You?
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm driving.
Yes, we do.
I'm good. I just wanted to tell Migs that she did really good. She's one of the major prayer warriors at church for restoration recovery. So I know that she's going to be a blessing to Coach Kristen, hands down, because she is one of our major power players. When we need prayer, we always go to her, so she's amazing. But I didn't know you were going to be on tonight, so it was a great surprise. Obviously I'll see you tomorrow and I'll get to hug you then, but we're driving in the car right now because we are headed to our other Bible study and I have my son with me. But miracles happen like every day because my car had gotten towed, and luckily, this is another thing that recovery brings you is being able to co-parent nicely with obviously my ex-husband. He was, God made a way for him to pay for my car to get out of the tow yard, and it was like $700. And that's not something that's, easily said or done these days. So I think it's awesome when we get to share about just different things that come with recovery, because there is so many. And you're seeing all these gifts because of your faith and how in tune and how tapped in you're getting. And I totally love to see that because it is a beautiful glow. And it's a testament to other people to know that, like, they can do this. Like, they're not alone. We are out here. I heard a lot of great shares tonight from the fellows, and this is an amazing family. I missed the table already, but Natalie celebrating her 12 years, with everything that's happening this year. I said it last time. It's going to be a big year for everyone. And I'm just super grateful for, another day clean. 10 months, 7 days today for me with the fentanyl. And, I wouldn't have it any other way. God number one, of course, relationships come next, and everything else just falls into place and you don't have to force it. It's effortless. So I'm proud of you again. Good job tonight. And always loving being at recovery. I think the next one, I forgot, Chad. I think you said it's April
18th.
18th that we do the out loud, but and live in person, and it's always great. So for any locals that are on, any newcomers that are on tonight, I just want to say welcome to the family. You're gonna love it here. It's a safe space, and we look forward to seeing all the locals and hanging out with our huge family that keeps growing on the 18th of April. So love you guys. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you. Christian,
Bring us on home, Christian.
bring us home.
Hi, my name is Christian. I'm a recovering addict. I can relate a lot to the share. No, kind of, because I was in treatment, right? And you guys speak about like these bougie treatments, and and like I was in treatment like out of the US. Like my family had sent me to Ecuador for 6 months, and like over there is like treatment is like punishment over there, like your family would contract someone to go capture you and go there. So I went volunteer. Like I volunteered to want to go because my family didn't know about like treatment around here. Like they thought it was gonna be super expensive, and then so I'll go over there, and basically like the only reason I wanted to share is because you guys pointed out like that I was like eating the ices.
Yeah.
It is because I really appreciate food. Like I basically the treatment that I had was like they basically punish you. Like I got like they starved me. You get like they would abuse you, like they hit you and stuff, like to make you wanna, I guess, be scared of to wanna use again. And like the reason I wanted to share was because if like it doesn't really matter the treatment that you get, the place, it's the message. It's they go by the NA. They use the 12 steps, just like their methods. They have their methods for certain reasons. But I got what I needed from the place where I was at, and I just wanted to share. Like I'm a very nervous person. Like I love to talk, but it's like I'm very young. Like I'm still trying to get to this, the recovery thing. Like I go every week to therapy, but like trying to like my whole goal, like since I left treatment, since I came back to the US, I haven't been to an in-person meeting. Like it's my goal with my therapist to do that. Like I just joined like these podcasts or like I do other Zoom because like it's hard for me to say that I'm never gonna like I don't want to use any drugs, but like I'm still trying to figure out what I can. And I told myself I want to be sober from drugs, alcohol, like weed, all that stuff. But it's like I don't know. Like I'm still very young. Like I know that I don't want to go back to doing any type of pills, any type of hard drugs, any type of painkillers, because that took me to the floor. It took me to where I was, losing custody of my kid. Everybody losing my job. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
Well, thank you, Christian.
Yeah.
Appreciate you sharing and
keep showing up.
Keep showing up, man. Keep coming back.
Can I share one more thing?
Yes, of course.
I heard a common theme of miracles, and I just want to say that he is a miracle working God. And there's a story in John 9 that I think it will definitely resonate with everyone on here that's struggled with drugs and alcohol. There's a man that's blind, and the Pharisees and the religious people around Jesus are saying, why was this man made blind? Was he made blind because of his ancestors' sins, his parents' sins? And Jesus says, no, he was made blind so that the miraculous healing power of God could be made manifest. And he healed him from his blindness. And so the Lord wants to heal you, and he wants to reveal his healing power to those around you. So everyone in this meeting is a miracle. You're alive and breathing, and God has a plan for your life. He has a purpose for your life, and all of your suffering, he wants you to put it to use to help others and go and make disciples and share the good news of what he's done in your life. So just proud of all y'all for being here. I just wanted to share that.
Amen. Thank you. Before we close out the meeting, I just want to give another huge shout out to Miss Natalie Eva Marie on her 12 years of continuous sobriety.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Can you say a few words to the peeps before we close it out? I know you wanted to go, but just give a
worst time ever.
Yeah, perfect time.
No, I just am.
Who are you?
Natalie Eva Marie, and I am a addict alcoholic. 12 years is wild. And it's exactly, I have turned into everything that you hear when you first walk into a meeting. I'm a cliche. My life is beyond my wildest dreams. Never in a million years did I think that I would be sitting in this seat doing what I'm doing today. But I have surrendered my life and, got a sponsor, worked the steps, sponsored other women, and led me to exactly what I feel is my whole purpose of life. I never knew it until I walked through these doors. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. And I'm forever grateful. Before I get all crazy and emotional and choked up, it's just a wild ride.
Is that it? Or are you going to cry?
Aww.
I like the crying.
Amazing.
Why do you do it at the end of the meeting? No, it's overwhelming,
Yeah.
because at one point in time, I think probably all of us had felt, I didn't like the person staring back at me in the mirror. And today I do. Like, today I love who I am, and that's because of me getting out of my own way.
Yeah.
And the love that God has for each one of us it fills you up beyond, like, a comfort that I never really knew that I was searching for that when I was picking up and for a drink or a drug. But I just think the program is wild. Like, just to have the peace of mind is incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm grateful for this team. I'm grateful for everybody here. They've turned into literally my family, and all of you guys as well. And so it's incredible, and I almost am like, I don't deserve anything that I have at all. But I'm going to honor God, and I'm going to share my story, and I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can, because I don't want them to feel alone or lost,
Yeah.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you, Natalie. What I heard was I'm grateful that I didn't get what I deserve, and that's the first thing I always put on my gratitude list, man, is that I'm grateful that the world isn't fair and that I didn't get what I deserve because I shouldn't be sitting here. And God is good.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for these guys for bringing me in because Lord knows I am on a level 10 on a daily. So the fact that they...
Shane's on level 15, so
That's true.
We're cool.
But I love you guys. I love this team.
All right, let's close this bad boy out. Everybody turn on their cameras because we are the...
Hang on a second. Where's Jesse? I want him to shake his boobs a little for him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's got a nice chest, bro. Where is he? He left.
Jesse,
All right.
turn your camera on,
He
buddy.
left. I'm
Come
just saying,
on.
he's got a nice chest. We'd appreciate it. But if that's not going to happen today, that's fine. Let's go. Let the music.
All right, everybody, hands in the air, hands in the air. We are the only ones.
Oh, yeah.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can,
and the
wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. Thanks, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Worst